Hello, and welcome to the podcast. On this, we talk everything Doctor Who classic new, and this week we got some new news, kind of, at least a tiny bit better than usual. Steelbook series the 7. It's coming, like they're coming out really quickly now. It's it's 14th of December, I think. So quite soon actually. Like I remember the gap between series 1 and series 2 was like a year, and then same for like 2 to then 3 was like enough a year. But then since then it's been like so much quicker. And yeah, so it's slightly different in terms of its design because obviously series 7 was so different, like vastly different between part 1 and part 2. So instead of doing like all the companions on like the front cover and then like the villains on the back, which I very much have enjoyed that style. This one they've gone more for a double front cover, each one for each part of the series, which I quite like it. I do.
Yeah.
However, I do feel the Karen Gillan side is slightly the stronger side of the two. I think it's got just better placement, though it does remind me of the bloody Statue of Liberty Weeping Angel, which is is a oof. But you know, it's got the cubes, it's got the dinosaur. The only one that kind of gets,
I mean, that was just funny.
The one that gets shit on is a town called Mercy, which I really like that one.
I guess you can't fit everything on the cover.
Yeah, but they managed to fit the Weeping Angels on it. Oh,
yeah.
Oof. But
I know what you're talking about. That was hilarious.
It was funny.
Like seriously, the first time I watched that episode, and like they just turn around and there's this massive Statue of Liberty.
How did no one
I just
see
laughed.
Like,
it was funny.
It was It's like, how could you not like?
It's not intimidating.
The city that never sleeps. The city that never sleeps. Yet no one saw that. Like, to me, it's just weird as hell. But yeah, the Clara Oswald side's quite nice. You got Richard E. Grant with the Whisper Men. Ice Warrior got an appearance. I think maybe you could have left the Ice Warrior and the Cybermen off and just stuck with that one. Maybe done the.
No, I think the Ice Warrior was, and having the Ice Warriors come back in itself for that series.
I mean,
was
yeah, to be honest,
enough to justify.
I was very excited for that.
Yeah,
but yeah,
because they
basically
hadn't been seen in so long.
It's the name of the Doctor is basically that cover, which then so we now know for sure that they're going to do a different Steelbook for like the 50th and the Christmas special, the Time of the Doctor, and probably include Night of the Doctor, the 5-ish Doctors.
Right, have to. I mean, again,
Adventure in Space and Time.
The original Blu-ray release, I'd imagine.
Yeah. So I wonder if for that one they're going to do the split covers. Like one side's the Christmas special, one side's the 50th. Do you think they'll go with that method?
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, I could see them doing it that way. Yeah. I guess it would make it. Yeah, I think they probably would actually. I don't think it'd be more difficult to try and squeeze them into one coherent design.
Yeah, because they're kind of separate stories, I guess. I don't know. It would definitely be the crack for like series 5. They had that on the back, didn't they, of the series 5 one, which was the nice Vincent van Gogh artwork.
Well, the original Steelbook was only the crack.
Yes, it was. I've got that one. Only 10,000.
Same.
Yeah.
Very cheap. It was exactly the same price on DVD when I originally got it as like just buying it without.
Do you know the weird story for me was getting that one was it was actually more expensive to get the actual series one than to get the limited edition Steelbook. It was cheaper to get the limited edition Steelbook on Amazon, so I bought it because obviously it was cheaper. And like a couple of days later, then it was more expensive than the other one. I think they must have like done a fuck up at the. Because it made no sense to me. I was like, why is the normal one like it was weird.
They gave you the offer and you took it.
I've got it on Blu-ray now, so not even using that. It's crazy. I mean, at least this will. I think this will have the Doctor, the Widow, and the Wardrobe on it. Because I remember originally when they released the Series 7 box set all the way back in 2013. I think they didn't include the Doctor the Wizard of the Wardrobe to start with, and so many people complained that they actually just added it on, which I thought was sick. I thought it was nice that they actually managed. They listened and they're like, oh yeah, we'll just add this one in.
Yeah,
and they did. I remember that being a big thing back then in 2013.
I mean, it couldn't have taken that much effort to do. But...
No, exactly. And I think it made people want to buy it more as well, because it was like, now I don't have to have that ugly Christmas style, because that's the thing, they never released. The only time they've released like Time of the Doctor in a decent looking box set was the special 50th one I've got, which again they only made like 10,000 off for DVD and then 10,000 of Blu-ray. Because like the spine of that one's super ugly. For Time of the Doctor, it was like white and blue, and it just would have stood out completely compared to like my nice black colour spines of all the series. But I mean, these Steelbooks are nice because they're super thin, so they take up less space and they're nice and colourful. Just the change of the logo. It's the pain.
Yeah. I mean, it would be nice to have it consistent, although I don't have it consistent because I have several of the old DVDs signed, so I've kind of got a bit of a mismatch, even if I'd removed most of my old DVDs from there just for space purposes.
Yeah. I mean, you could take out the artwork, frame it.
Well, for some of them, I mean, when I say old Blu-ray, I mean, there's one old DVD, and then there's the old Series 4 DVD box set, because I got that signed by actually 3 different members of the cast. I think I got Series 7 Part 2 signed on the outside as well. And then when I eventually get to Series 10, I got that signed by John Sims, so of course I can't take that one out. So it's like...
John Sim, what a man. I'm excited to see what the next ones will look like, because I mean, what's odd is they started doing those Steelbooks. So are they going to stop now, or will they just do a new updated Steelbook?
I guess I'll just do an updated one, because I guess the first one they originally did a Steelbook for was Series 5, and now we've got 2 Steelbooks.
Oh, yeah,
5,
that was a slightly different kind of
We'll just keep going.
The one I'm talking about is there's a Series 9 one. That was the very first, of the thin style, that kind of style of Steelbook, where it has just Capaldi,
but the cover design is different.
Yeah, I think because of that, because it's like a different art style. I feel they'll do something different. I wonder, then I guess they'll go until they catch up with modern day, then, and then just release them as they go.
Which would be nice.
Nice.
Again, give me an excuse to get all of them, because I never quite ever had the whole of modern Who on Blu-ray / DVD.
Yeah, it'd be nice. It would be nice having them on Blu-ray. That's the only reason I even got the first one. Because I had Labyrinth up here on Blu-ray. It was the 30th anniversary box set. And I bought it not even having a Blu-ray player because it just looked that cool. I was like, I need it. And I didn't have a Blu-ray player, and I was like, wow. And then I saw this Steelbook, and I was like, that is pretty gorgeous. I was like, okay. So then I bought this LG. Ooh, LG almost fell off my chair there. LG, Blu-ray player for only 50 quid. It was pretty good, and it's lasted me. It's not broken or anything. It's good, and it's and I got the Series 1 at the same time. And I was like, oh, maybe they just did Series 1. That's okay, whatever. But then, they've just kept going. And it's nice. I like the artwork. I think I can't wait to see the Capaldi ones. Because I think they'll be interesting to see. It's crazy that we've already got basically all the Matt Smith ones already. It's kind of really quick, because obviously when you just do it in series, when you live through it, he's the Doctor for ages. But when you just do DVDs, it's that would be all the Matt Smith ones in almost a year, basically.
Pretty much.
Because I remember I got the Series 5 one while I was at work, and then I got Series 6 while I was also at work, and now just having left work. Wow. Oof. But so I guess we get a special 50th one. That'll be Series 8, Series 9, Series 10, and Series 11 and 12.
Yeah,
that's it. That should be in time for them the special 60th, probably. Actually, no, at this rate, probably not.
No.
But it would be nice to watch An Adventure in Space and Time on Blu-ray because I don't have that. But yeah.
Provided that's included.
What would you say is your favorite cover so far then, out of all of them?
I really did like the Series 1 one, actually.
Yeah, I think the one about that one was they went more simplistic. They've kind of been getting a bit more busy, I guess. Like, oh no,
I don't hate them by any means, but Series 1 really does kind of stand out, I think. The big Chris Eccleston holding his hand out and the Dalek on the back and the explosion. I mean, it's cool. It's just a really nice design.
Yeah, Bad Wolf on the TARDIS. I feel like Series 4 could have had a better back cover, actually. I felt like that one, just as the TARDIS, Davros and some Daleks. I feel like, you know, the Silence in the Library villains, you know, they were very memorable. They could have been on there.
I think all the later ones went too busy. Let's add more.
Yeah, true. Well, no, I feel like have Davros, but then instead of Daleks behind him, have some others.
Okay,
yeah. Yeah, I mean, the Specials one looks awesome, but I think it's busier, but I don't know. Just the way it's structured. It's like the Series 5 one went super busy above the crack with the Pandorica. And then obviously the Series 7 is busy on both sides, but it's understandable because of the kind of series that it was. It was very crazy, that series, really. Maybe not its strongest, but
no.
It's yeah. Nice colour scheme, this one. I like it. It gets a thumbs up from me. I did pre-order it quickly because it seems like they're not like doing re-releases of them. That's the crazy thing at the moment. Like, I know there are people who are wanting to get the earlier ones, you know, series like 2 and like those ones, you know, which they kind of got the first one and then they kind of got the third one because you know, they've kind of missed one out. So I wonder if they will do any re-releases.
Well, I mean, they've been like the last time I went to HMV, which was like a year ago. They still were like having
Series 3
like
was
Series 1s and Series 2s and such. We're still hanging about HMV stores.
Yeah. No,
at that point at least, but who knows now.
Maybe because like it's becoming more of a collector's thing. People are going retroactively going back and getting those, so that I guess they disappear pretty quickly. I can see like there's a Series 6 one for 180 quid on eBay.
Gosh.
Is it seriously?
Who's going to pay that?
People with too much money. I'll pay 30 quid for it.
You could easily find it cheaper elsewhere, probably, if you looked hard enough.
It's not available on Amazon anymore for that price.
I mean,
like the Blu-ray on Amazon is 74 for Series 5. Like,
wow,
crazy! These go so quick.
Why?
Oh my god! People are offering the Series 1 one for 300 quid. Series 3 is 53 quid.
Like, I mean, that's about as much. Like,
I'm sitting on a gold mine, man.
Yeah, and mine is signed by Christopher Eccleston and John Barrowman. So,
I mean,
how much would that be worth?
A shit ton. An absolute bomb. Wow.
So you got a massive pile of money here.
But yeah. Oh, so next series has started filming. That's kind of all we know. But yeah, I think it was someone said something like Jodie at some point. So that's underway. So I guess we won't see that till 2023. That far off. Let's just give them 2 years, you know. Oh man. Yeah, that's the thing. I watched like an interview, a video about like I listened to the David Tennant does a podcast with that's the title of it, and it was with Billy Piper, and they filmed that whole series in 9 months, 13 episodes in 9 months. Yeah. Why is it taking them so long to do 10? Why?
I don't know.
Like seriously, like if it ain't broke, yeah,
don't break it.
don't broke it. If it ain't broke, just yeah, it makes no sense to me. How could it have changed so much? Like interesting.
I guess it's just the way Kindle works.
As in he doesn't. No, I'm joking. But I guess it was interesting to hear though about what it was like. Actually, I'd really suggest listening to the podcast because they do talk about kind of all kind of aspects and what it was like. And obviously for Billy, she kind of was doing the first series and it was weird because they didn't know if it was going to be any good, you know. And there was a lot of pressure for it would either be great or flop, basically. And then David Tennant said it was so weird being the Doctor. It was like the closest thing to being a pop star, you know, being in like cars and being snuck into locations so nobody knew they were filming there. Like it's pretty crazy. That's how big Doctor Who was back then, wasn't it? Like
it was.
That's how popular it was. That they actually had to sneak them around. Crazy.
Indeed.
But yeah. I mean, we're getting closer. I mean, what is it? It's Happy Halloween. I mean, that's a topic in itself. That was very spooky. I felt a little bit scared there.
You should be.
Oh, okay. Calm down. But yeah, I mean, it means almost November. So I mean, we're getting closer to the trailer dropping on the 23rd of November. Because I mean they confirmed that, so kind of just twiddling our thumbs till then, aren't we?
Yeah, pretty much.
But yeah, recently there was oh no, Karen.
Oh, sorry. No, yeah, you carry on.
I was going to change topic, so if you're
so was I.
Oh well, cool. Well, yeah. So I was going to say because it's spooky day, because it is Halloween and it's spooky. Like, what was your scariest memory of Doctor Who? Like, what episode freaked you out the most out of all of them? And then do a runner-up. TV specifically.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, so I don't quite know so much about a lot of the modern Doctor Who, but I guess the first time I watched Tomb of the Cybermen really rather freaked me out in that. Just because of the way the eyes looked, I guess. In particular.
Yeah.
It's just so kind of soulless. And I know looking at it now, you can see all the tape around the eyes and such.
As a kid, you're not thinking that.
Well, that and the fact that at the time we were still watching it on old CRT, so
quality wasn't as good. Yeah,
you couldn't really make that out. So it's kind of like the ring, and then the dark insides of the eyes in particular is what kind of freaked me out. Those particular Cybermen designs, and I mean that stuck with me quite a bit. I guess it was literally from the moment where you had the Cybermen wheel on the fake Cyberman wheel on and shoot in the close up on the face. That at the time that scared me quite a lot.
How old were you for that?
So this was just off. This was a little bit after series 1. So
okay, so you knew of the show then. Okay.
7. Yeah, well, it's because I was into the show. I got into the show through the new series, and then we were wandering about Godalming, and in the window of an Oxfam there was just the VHS of Tomb of the Cybermen. It wasn't even in its box. It was just a VHS in the window.
Oh wow!
And I just kind of begged my parents to get me that, and they did. If I remember right, the actual VHS missed out the first few minutes, minute of the episode, even.
Oh, what, just damaged?
Which was odd. Well, no, because it had the introductory message, and then it seemed to kind of miss out the whole actual. I think it had it had the explosion, but it cut in. I don't know. It's been a while. I've long since lost that VHS, so maybe I'm just misremembering that. But as far as I remember that, like, when I first watched the DVD version, I was like, oh, I don't remember this little bit at the beginning when they're walking along kind of the quarry and such. But again, maybe I'm just like misremembering how it was before. And yeah, that VHS ended up being scrapped because my mother like went on like a mass VHS scrapping spree without really informing anybody, and we lost everything, even like more important stuff. a lot of the actual stuff we could replace were replaced, but stuff like my dad's old trumpet performances couldn't be.
Yikes! Oof. That's why you don't cull. You gotta ask. Don't throw stuff out. Luckily, my mum, she wants to go on culls, but she doesn't. She doesn't just in case because it's other people's stuff. Thank God. Cause I definitely would lose some stuff. But for me, series 1 never scared me. Actually, I think it gave me butterflies. I think I got like I enjoyed it though. Like where I actually
tell maybe 10s, but.
Yeah, like I know for my sister, the empty child scared her, and that's because in the episode she said it was her younger brother, and I was about the age of the kid. Forget his name now. But yeah, so I was the same age as yeah, I can't remember. Jamie, that's it. Yeah, I was about the same age as Jamie, and yeah, so because she said brother in the first episode, my sister was like, oh my god, but for me it was series 2 which actually had the ones that really spooked me out. It was the werewolf was really, I was sick from kind of scared. I'm not sure if I had a bug anyway or something like that, but that one terrified me, that episode. Just the whole thing, it's pretty scary start to finish. Even at the end they're like, oh yeah, the queen's the werewolf. Like and then the other one was the ood in the air ducts as they were crawling after them. Like it was just scary, just the eyes, and just they crawled quite manically, really. At least in my memory they did, like after the episode. So that really scared me, for sure. Those two did, and then I kind of got older, so nothing really scared me as much. I remember I didn't watch the Lazarus Experiment because I thought that one was going to be a bit too scary because it was a bit horrific. So I never watched that one live, and I didn't watch the Titanic one live either because I thought that one was going to be scary because I thought the host, I was like, I don't want to ruin Christmas by, and it is a pretty depressing episode, so I think I did the right thing of not watching it because everyone pretty much dies.
Merry Christmas.
And, yeah, I mean, I love the episode now. I actually remember I ended up watching it ages later on YouTube. Someone uploaded it in like 9-minute chunks or something, and that's how I watched it. And yeah, so that's how I actually, officially like caught up, I guess, on the episode. It took me forever to end up watching the Lazarus Experiment. Actually, it was until series 10. No, not series 10. 2010 when I got like the series 1 to 4 box set. I think that's how I managed to watch it, or maybe it was a BBC free repeat back when BBC Free was on TV. But yeah, in terms of classic, there's only one that I think really scared me, which was they were showing the Daleks on like BBC 4 or something, but it was the Expedition episode, and it was the bit when the guy basically sacrifices himself by cutting the rope.
Oh yeah,
and just that scene really stuck with me, really terrified me. And I think it's just because it's like he just killed himself. And like without the context of the episode, I kind of came at a random time. Mum was like, "Oh, they're showing Doctor Who." I was like, "Oh," she's like, "Oh yeah, the really old stuff." I was like, "Oh okay." So I kind of watched it, and yeah, just this guy kills himself by cutting some rope, and like his scream is quite horrific, really. It's a death scream, and yeah, it was spooky stuff, but those are my childhood fears. The ones which actually still scare me today, which didn't scare me as much back then, which really is a real testament to these bad guys, is The Flood, Waters of Mars. Still terrify me to this day. Amazing story. I need to watch that again. Fuck me, it's so good. And The Midnight Monster. Those two are there still today. Like as an adult, they're terrifying. Like the issue with the Weeping Angels is they got overused. Those one-off monsters, like the Flood is like that is like that's where like that's the level that people should try and hit. You know, push the boundary of scariness. Like that's that. I feel like every season there has to be like one of those which like really pushes that boundary, just to like bring up that added threat. Like I felt like Tim Shaw was like a solid design, like with the teeth and everything. And I feel like, but they just kind of didn't utilize that as much as I feel like you know him as much as they could have. But you know, like base Under Siege ones like Waters of Mars is like amazing. Like one drop kills you. I remember the whole the trailers for it were sick. Episode was just epic. Like
yeah, it's a great episode. Although I don't think it ever scared me. If you know, like particularly, I mean, I was very. I think Tubular Cybermen was only scared me because, like I said, it was black and white and like that. It had kind of this unnerving feeling. Whereas I think, like once they started, I mean, the Empty Child never scared me, although certainly if it scared people around me. I even once went to the phone and basically prank called one of my cousins by going, like, "Mommy," your friends, and that was a shriek. So, but yeah, like I don't, as far as I recall, I don't really remember getting scared by very many episodes at all. Really, particularly not in modern Doctor Who sense, because like there was something maybe a little bit unnerving still about the black and white Doctor Who's.
It's got that.
I can't always quite explain it. Maybe it's the dead air that it has sometimes, or like the pacing of it, like kind of builds that tension a bit.
There's a natural suspense, isn't there?
Or kind of the unknowing, I guess, because the lack of color.
Yeah,
so the inherent human lack of fear of the unknown. And when it's in black and white, the distinction between what you can see in the image. I mean, not that you can't make stuff out, but there's always perhaps a little bit of like extra blacks that you can't, that make it, I guess, a bit more unnerving in its way. Although, once again, like, to be fair, most of black and white Doctor Who I ended up only watching when I was older. So, although like I said, you mentioned the Daleks, and I think that one I wasn't scared by that. Though mainly, I think the first time I watched it might have been like at least half of it was in the back of a car. So
not the best situation to be in, watching fully taking it in.
The best environment, but yeah, I don't, particularly modern Doctor, I don't ever recall a specific moment of ever being that scared of it, to be honest. But again, it might just be my memory, or just covering up the trauma.
Well, at the minute, like I'm not like terrified. Well, I could easily watch the episode. I'm not going to be terrified. But it's like they give me chills, like they like ooh, creepy.
Well, I'm just thinking back to how I was thinking as a child, and I can't remember.
I remember Waters of Mars being like, I think I was more blown away with how bloody good the episode was to be scared of them. Like I think like it's just awesome. Man, I kind of like I'd love to see the Flood again, but also I know it just wouldn't be as good. Like.
Yeah,
like it's like they were so good that I'd love to see them again, but also it just wouldn't be good. Like it just ruined it, like kind of thing. How like Vashta Narada, I feel like should return. I feel like there's more you can do with them.
Yeah, I remember my dad used to be afraid of the Zygons, like when he was a kid.
I guess they are pretty ugly. Looking.
Well, in the first story, it was pretty horrific. To be fair, like in terms of what they did, like grabbing people off the phone, stuff like that. I can see why.
Yeah. See, they've done the Zygons to the right amount. They had them in the 50th, then they had them in Series 9, and then they've not used them since. And that's like I feel a good level. Like,
well, they kind of somewhat finished the arc, didn't they? Really, they now peacefully coexist amongst people. Kind of.
sort of.
So it's like they finished their arc, like their several decade-long arc. They concluded it. Like, where do you go from there with the Zygons?
Yeah, guess if like on another planet they come and they're like try and cause trouble, that's the only way you could go with it. But yeah, I feel like yeah they have concluded that arc quite nicely. I'd add, like it's quite nice. I feel
like it'd be nice if they brought up the fact that every now and again someone around you might be a Zygon, but you know, like in terms of them actually being like a main focus of an episode or something, like I think that's done.
Yeah.
Like I don't know where on earth you go with them from here. Like they had the whole like extremist angle in the last episode, which kind of was a natural evolution to having, them kind of shape-shifted among us.
Do you feel that Doctor Who should do a Halloween special?
What would they do for that?
Well, that's the thing. You could do any special really on Doctor Who because it's got aliens and it's.
I mean, it's inherently like a show that does lend itself well to horror, but like they already do that during the normal seasons or tried to. So it's like I don't see what a benefit of a Halloween special would be.
Waters of Mars was like a. That just aired in November, didn't it? It was kind of like an anniversary without it being an anniversary.
Kind of, I guess.
Yeah, because they did it in November, didn't they? I thought it would have been on Halloween, but I guess they think people are going to be out, so the viewing figures will be lower. Maybe that's the reason behind it.
I mean, that was probably true. It was probably true.
Yeah. Put it on a Saturday. But yeah, I guess because the anniversary date and Halloween are quite close, you might as well just always make it like a anniversary thing.
Indeed.
Because that's the thing. It's like the Christmas special does get I can understand Chibnall moving it from Christmas because obviously it does. Every year having a Christmas special is a bit heavy, I guess. Because you do. How many have we had? Like bloody over 10. Like like a lot.
Well, his excuse was that they ran out of 15 ideas.
Yeah, no, I don't like that as an excuse. It should just be like just enough episode with some snow in it. Like it doesn't need to be like so heavily like Christmas based. Like I think. Well, like End of Time wasn't really Christmas based. It was just set around Christmas, was it?
Yeah.
I feel like that is like the strongest element to go with it. Obviously, the first Christmas Invasion, I had to go super Christmassy because it could have been the only one that they got. Could have been cancelled after Series 2, so they went crazy with it. Then Runaway Bride was a bit of a rehash of elements. It was kind of like classic sequel. Then number 3 was nice because they did something very different, which was Voyage of the Damned. Yeah, but then Matt Smith went crazy. Christmas Carol, like rip-offs of every single Christmas kind of thing. Apart from Time of the Doctor, that was slightly original, which is probably why it was so messy. But then, I felt sorry for Moffat because he had to wrap up all these storylines, which I don't think he expected to have to do all in 60 minutes.
Yeah.
I think he expected Matt to stay on for another series, like stay on for Series 8. Which then he didn't.
Yeah. Although I don't see why he couldn't have held off with some of those things till Capaldi's first season. I mean, I know it's not the best to necessarily have baggage carry over from the last incarnation, but David Tennant kind of did, and it still works.
I don't think there was much baggage. I mean, Bad Wolf was about as far as it did, and that was never the center of anything. It was just Rose coming back, but Rose was, it wasn't like baggage of like still not knowing what Silence Will Fall and all that would be. Are the Silence still out there? Like, what's going on with them?
Who cares at this point?
Yeah, I guess we're like now on this new plot of the Jadoon and everything and the police, so I guess that's that.
Yeah.
But yeah. Oh, how was the comic? The second part of the comic?
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up because they've both got new parts in both. In terms of the Doctor Who magazine ones, that was the one I kind of recommended like last week. It of course last week was like its own kind of edition, I guess. You had your own like comic book with it, which was like bigger than like standard strips. This week's, of course, is now part of the actual magazine itself, so it's just kind of a standard strip size, and as a result, there actually isn't a whole lot to it. It's like if you actually look at what actually happens in the comic strip, they don't really accomplish a whole lot.
That's a shame.
And it certainly doesn't conclude. Like I didn't know how, because they'd only listed initially like I think two parts of it, but like it's continuing. So yeah, I don't quite know, how long it's going to be.
But, I thought it was going to be another extra booklet, so I would have got it. But maybe not gonna, because then it's like £5 every month.
And I guess it was just introducing it and then like building on it.
Yeah, it fucking got me trying to ring me in.
Yeah, it's gone from like a comic book to like only like 8 pages. So yeah, not a whole lot happens in that. And I guess for the other one, I think like I complained about. I didn't think the first one was bad by any means, but like it was a lot of setup. And being that this is the payoff, like it is considerably better. Like I did enjoy this quite a bit this time. And it does kind of conclude in this arc in it, although like the way, and not to say so much, but like the way the Doctor gets out of it is kind of, especially if you're only following the Timelord Victorious part of it, it seems to kind of come out a bit of nowhere because it's kind of following on from what was happening in previous comics. So it's like you kind of have this isolated episode, and then they kind of bring it back to kind of how it was before, and it like kind of
interesting
throws you off a bit. But the episode itself is interesting. Well, the comic itself is interesting. And I don't know how much I don't remember how much I talked about it last time we talked, but like
not too much.
You can have the Doctor and this Dalek strategist who like has to convince the Emperor and everybody else that the Doctor needs to come and help defend the Daleks from this threat of this monster who's in constant pain and wants to destroy every life form in the universe and itself because of the pain it harbors and such.
Oof.
So
deep stuff.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah, it was an interesting one. This week's recommendation is the other one.
There we go. Right. Well, I think that's pretty much everything then, isn't it? Not much else to talk about. So, what do you guys think of the Steelbook? Are you going to get it? What scared you as a kid? What scares you as an adult? From Doctor Who specifically. I don't want anything else. This is Doctor Who only.
I mean, you can, but
I don't want to hear about your problems. Why? God. I don't have time for that. I just want to hear about Doctor Who problems, all right? I'm not. This ain't therapy. I'm not here to solve your issues. So yeah, there we go.
This is what this was.
Oh God. Yeah. So
you're not my therapist.
What? Well, I mean, like, there's £50 for an hour. I mean, like, we've got to talk about how many hours we've spoken then on this channel, so we can cash flow here. Because I'll happily take your money. So yeah, so I guess we might see you next week. Depends if there's any news or not. Depends how busy I am with uni, because it's kicking my ass at the minute. But yeah, so hopefully there's some news, and then it'll be podcast worthy. If not, then it'll probably be enough a fortnight till the next one, because it's a lot of effort trying to drag. Like, oh look, there's a new poster for a fan project of Doctor. Like, I can't. I don't have the brain capacity to stretch it that far. So, yeah, only notable news or anything notably decent. Yeah. There we go. Right.
Sure.
Well, thank you very much for watching, guys. We will see you some point next time. Boy.
Boy.